Okay, guys, be sure to like the video, comment, subscribe, and also ring the bell if you're a subscriber. That helps grow the channel. I appreciate it big time. Now, the video today, what sparked this idea was Lifting Vault posted a video about a guy who tore his quad on a squat, and he went on to complete the meet and deadlift 816. So this was like eerily similar to what happened at my last full power meet. This was from August 2018, so almost 4 years ago. My last full power meet I ever did. Boss of Bosses 4, we're at a 2017 total. I squatted 733, and I attempted the most weight I've ever attempted on a squat, which was 783 pounds, 355 kg, most I've ever attempted. And I think I would have had it, but I tore my vastus lateralis on my outer quad, which in MRI showed it was a tear. I tore that on the last attempt. And then I also benched at this meet 452, 205 kg, which was it's like 5 kilos less than my best ever. I was having some serious elbow tendonitis, which really threw my bench off. And then deadlift, I went on to deadlift 832 pounds, which is, what is that, 300, let me do the math here real quick, 380-ish, 82 and a half kg, I think. So I think it was 382 and a half. Let me do the math real quick. Basically 832 pounds, or 377 and a half kg. So 377 and a half kg after the quad tear. So I didn't have like hardly any quad drive at all. Warm-ups felt awful. Yeah, so 377 and a half kg. Warm-ups felt awful, but I still deadlifted, but it was pretty bad. So like I said, this is eerily similar to what happened to me as far as what Lifting Vault posted today. So I thought this would be a good topic to cover. Now look at how different I look here. This is almost 4 years ago. This is me at like 255 pounds. My neck is like way bigger. My shoulders are way bigger. Just like, doesn't even look. We'll try to show. Look at the difference. A lot more narrow, and my neck's a lot smaller now. So you can see a considerable difference from being on PEDs to being off. But crazy what a difference that makes. And I'm not lifting like that seriously right now, but you still see it's pretty wild. Just so much wider, and the neck is so much bigger. Even here, it's ridiculous. But I'll get into the meat here. I want to go over this because this was my last full power meet, kind of interesting. So this was 672, which 305 kg, my opener. And I had opened heavier at previous meets, but this was the strongest my squat had ever been going into it. I was squatting 3 days a week, 3 to 4, all high bar. Like I did all high bar training going into this. I hit a 320, 705 pound high bar PR. So I did 320 kg with 705 pounds high bar going into this meet, ass to grass, like all the way down. Actually, I think I did 725 on pound plates, but the pound plates weren't accurate. So 705 on calibrated plates, high bar was the most I ever did prior to this meet. So you'll see I get a really big carryover from high bar. But all my training was high bar 4 days a week, and this was by far the strongest my squat ever was. Like it was just dialed in. Like we just killed it. Like going to this meet, things felt perfect. So I was very confident I was going to squat dang near 800 pounds. I thought 800 was for sure on the table at this meet coming into it. But this was 672. Like I said, it opened heavier at other meets. But the opener is, the goal is not to like open the heaviest. The goal is to finish with as heavy as possible. So I dialed the opener back to really get something I knew I would smoke. And you'll see this is a mono lift, but I still chose to walk it out because I just hated lifting in mono lifts. It did not feel comfortable unless I would set my feet. So this was strong sleeves, 305 kg. Very low bar placement. That's just something to look at as well. One of the biggest issues I see with low bar is that guys aren't low enough. If you're getting pitched forward where your chest is caving, the bar's probably not low enough. So go lower. So that's one of the things. But you'll see here, strong descent, good depth, and I just obliterate it. Like the speed was crazy on that one. I'll watch it one more time here. Just crazy speed. The walkout was honestly the hardest part for me at this meet, which you'll kind of see like SSJ Bob, his last video, he squatted 760, which is 345 kg. And the walkout was the hardest part of the lift for him. Once he walked it out, he smoked the rep, but the walkout was tough, and that's how it was for me. You'll see here, even like the depth was pretty dang good. Like I even paused it a little. I'll try to go back. Just watch the depth here. I thought depth was really clean. I mean, that's from the front. It's considerably below parallel, but this rep flew up. Easy work. No issues whatsoever. Perfect opener. That's how you want your openers to look, just really smooth. I jumped to 733, 332 and a half kg because this was kind of going to be the bridge weight before I made my jump for a PR. So I get that bar real low on my back. This was a wider grip than I use now, but I also had considerably more muscle. And I took a thumbless grip here as well. You can see that. So 733. Now what I remember about this is I walked it out and it really didn't feel bad. I know it looks heavy walking out, but it did not feel that bad. It felt like fairly comfortable for being 700 plus pounds. So I could go down with this one, really good depth, and just smoke it too. You can see my blood pressure was probably really high there because my face is so red. So I have no doubt I had like super high blood pressure here. Look at how red my face is. Unreal. My blood pressure was probably through the roof, but I never monitored it back in these days. But this was not a difficult rep. You see me shake my head at the end? See? I'd make that face because I'm like, oh, that wasn't as bad as I thought. That was the most comfortable 733 in my life. It just wasn't, it didn't feel bad at all. So I was really surprised at like how good it felt. I was like, okay, not bad. So I jumped here, 355 kg, 783, the most weight I've ever attempted on a squat. Now, at the time, maybe 393 was there as well, 360 kg, and the goal was 800 coming into the meet. But I just wanted to get a PR, so this would have been a 5 kilo PR, and the most I'd done was 350 kg. I just wanted to try 355 to secure some kind of PR. I'd rather get a PR than not get it because I tried 800. That was my reasoning. Now, what I remember about this lift was when I unracked it and walked it out, I was like, wow, this doesn't even feel that bad. Normally, when I walk out really heavy weight like this, it felt like it was going to kill me. So, like when I walked out 350 kilo in the meet before this, I thought I was going to die. Like, I literally thought I was going to die. My legs were buckling. Like, it was insane. Like, it was so crazy. I literally thought I was going to die. This, I trained so hard. My legs were so strong. It didn't feel bad. Like, I walked it out. I was like, this is how 783 feels. It's not bad. I'm like, I could have put 800 on my back and walked it out for sure. My legs weren't under any pressure. It really felt good. Like I thought when I walked it out and looked up at the judge here, there was zero doubt. There was 100% confidence I was going to smoke this rep because I can tell when I walk it out. And this was a smooth walkout. I knew I was going to obliterate this. Like I knew it. I knew this was easy. I was like, oh, I probably went too light. I literally knew. I was like, this is too light. I could have done 360, 794 pounds because the walkout felt so comfortable. I go down. I feel perfectly in control. Everything feels in control. Everything feels good. Right there at the very bottom, you see blood pressure through the roof. I felt my legs snap. Like right here on the side of my quad, I felt a big snap, like a rubber band just snapping in half. So you can see I'm in a lot of pain, buried in the hole with this. This guy in the back is like, holy crap, what do we do? And then fortunately, these guys all come to my life and save me. But I was in a lot of pain because this leg had snapped on the outside. Um, so that swelled up pretty considerably. But like it sucks because this is the squat I wish I had back because I don't know if there's anything I could have done, but it felt so light. Like 783 pounds felt so light. I just was like, I got this. And it just the whole way down it felt good until the very bottom when that snap occurred. And it was right when I hit the hole, right at the very bottom, that I just felt my leg on the right side snap like a rubber band. So right there when I was getting ready to transition up, it just gave out. And this was just on the outside here, just was like, nope, not happening. So, tore the vastus lateralis. I was like, I can still bench, whatever. You don't need leg drive to bench. So 430 opener. And coming into this, there was a lot of elbow tendonitis. I was kind of upset because I was like, man, I could have had a heck of a meet. And I tried getting a lift off here for my wife, Kelly. I never do lift offs, but I figured it would help. And I tried a wider grip than I normally do as well. This is much wider than I normally bench because I was trying to help the elbow. The wider I would go with the elbow or with the grip, the more I would help the elbow. So 195 kg opener. My left elbow was killing me with the tendonitis coming into the meet. So that was kind of slow for an opener, to be honest. It was not great. And I got it, but I was not very happy. So I knew kind of the second attempt was going to finish off my elbow. I knew that's all I was going to have. So I went up to 205 kg. I'm kind of upset here because I know this is going to be it. There's nothing going to be left in the tank after this one. So I figured I could get this one. I'd have a shot at it, which is 5 kg under my best in a meet. My best was 463, 210. I figured I'd have a good shot here, so I gave this one a whirl. And we'll wait for it. But this was much wider than normal. Normally I would bench pinkies on the rings. This is middle finger on the rings. But like I said, it was just to save my elbow. And it was not very smooth. So I knew kind of my third attempt was probably not going to be there. But fast forward, I tried 463, 210 to match my PR. And I was just hoping to build a little on my total. Having missed the third squat due to the tear, I knew a PR total was out the window. But I was just going to do the best I could because had I gotten the 783, that would have added 50 pounds to my total. And I would have potentially been able to go over 2100 because I would have had more quad drive. Right there, the elbow's just finished off at that point. There's nothing left. So I warmed up on deadlift. I didn't have my usual explosiveness, but I decided to give it a go. I had to lower my opener considerably. I was going to open around 800, and I had to drop it down to 330 kg, 728 pounds, because I just couldn't get the explosion. I had zero explosion on this day. So with the quad torn, there was just zero explosion. So I dropped it down. I'm like, we'll take it one step at a time, still try to come out with a decent total. Just no explosiveness, but still got the 728 pretty comfortably. And I was not too into it. So I'm like, oh, we'll jump to 800, 804, 365 kg, try this. Which I wanted my second attempt to be closer to 870. So I was very disappointed because I was like, second attempt was supposed to be 870. But here we are at 804. So I'm just trying to salvage something and not getting any bar speed off the ground. Clean lockout, everything was good, smooth lift. But again, I'm just kind of upset. I'm just like, yeah, whatever. So I just figured I'd try 832. This guy behind me was way more pumped than I was. I was like, 832 I've done a million times. This isn't very exciting. I wanted to do 400 kg at a minimum. I was hoping 400 to 405 kg coming into the meet, but we'll never know what was there because the quad tore. So it's just disappointing. It's one of those things that you have to live with. But I was like, yeah, maybe I can get 832. We'll see. So I lock it in. This is just really underwhelming weight at this point. When you've already done this a bunch, it's not very exciting. It was tough. It was hard locking out, but I got it. And then you'll kind of see me at the top holding it. My grip's holding up. I just look over at Kelly because Kelly was filming. And I'm just like, yeah, it's not very exciting, but I got it, So that people like cracked up in the crowd. The crowd started laughing hysterically. Because I look over and I'm like, yeah, it's not even good. I was kind of disappointed. I was like, this isn't what I wanted, but people thought it was hilarious. So it was just one of those things, it wasn't my best day, but that was my last meet. I cut to 241 and a half. I was really like 253, 255. In the 242 weight class, I was second out of 12 at that meet. But I always wonder what could have been because had I not tore that vastus lateralis, I would have got to 783. Like there was no doubt the strength was there. The elbow issues probably would have limited my bench to 452. I don't think there would have been more on that day because the lower part of my elbow was just jacked, like it was jacked up. But deadlift, if I'd been able to go, let's say, and this is all what ifs, there's nothing I can do except say what if. But let's do a quick calculation. 782.6 plus 451.9. One sec, guys. I'm just what I think was there. So let's see. So we would have like a 1235 subtotal going into deadlifts, and then let's say 882 was there. That would have been 2117. So yeah, I think the high end would have been like 2117, maybe 2122. But injuries are part of the game, especially when you're on PDs. Nothing you can do about it. If you guys like this video, I'll keep it coming. Give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, and ring the bell for the sake of the algorithm. I really appreciate you guys. More to come.